Good afternoon. Please raise your hand if you've not been to Mongolia. All right. Well, that's where we're going to go for the next 15 minutes. My name is Layton Croft. I'm not Peter Akerley. I'm not supposed to be giving this presentation. There's a very good reason why Peter Akerley is not here. I am the independent chair of the board of Erdene Resource Development. We are traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We have a market cap currently of about 450 million Canadian dollars. I've been on the board for 10 years. And Peter Akerley is the reason that we are where we are today. He has led the most active and consistent exploration program in Mongolia nationwide for the past 25 years. For the past 10 years, we have been laser focused on getting to first gold and developing a new district. So in this presentation, I'm going to give it my own spin. There's no way I can fill Peter's shoes. So if you remember anything from this presentation, there's 3 words. They all start with D: discovery, dore, and district. So over the past 10 years, over the past 5 years, our shareholder returns have been 163%. Over the past year, 187%. But it all starts for us with discovery. Exactly 10 years ago, we discovered a high-grade deposit called Bayan Hundi. In the next 1 or 2 weeks, we will be pouring our first bar of doré gold from that deposit. So that is an extraordinary 10-year timetable, and COVID in between made it even harder. So I'm going to go through these slides quickly, and our CFO, Bob Jenkins, is in the room too, so hopefully we'll have time for questions. So I mentioned district earlier. We discovered a new district in southwestern Mongolia where there had been no modern exploration before we showed up. There are now multiple deposits, gold, copper, and molybdenum, and our starter mine, as I already mentioned, is Bayan Hundi. It's a high grade. It's going to be one of the highest grade open pit gold mines in the world. As I said, we've been commissioning it in recent days, and we will pour the first bar very soon, and it's got about 500,000 ounces grading 4 grams per ton. So we're going to have near-term high-grade gold production. We have exploration potential to extend the mine life. It's currently a 6-year mine producing about 85,000 ounces a year. We think it will definitely get to be more like 8, 10, or 12 years. There's a lot of expansion potential that we're going to focus on in the near term once we get into cash flows. Growth within project portfolio beyond BK, Bayan Hundi. We have the Altan deposit, which is a gold polymetallic deposit with 500,000 ounces. We only spent 3 years drilling that. There's 18 targets, and we've only drilled 2. So there's a lot of upside, and that's 16 kilometers north of Bayan Hundi. We've also got Zonmad, which is the largest undeveloped molybdenum copper deposit in Asia. And we have 20 other targets in the district, which is about 80 square kilometers. We also, I'm going to go back real quick. At the very bottom, we also have an excellent strategic alliance with the Mongolian Mining Corporation. They're a $1 billion market cap company listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and they've been an extraordinary partner. We built the mine that we're about to open in 22 months, and we did it because of their capability to build and operate. So we're hitting the ground running. So why are we in Mongolia? If you see there where Oyu Tolgoi is in the Hundi Minerals District, this is the Central Asian orogenic belt. It's very prospective and very underexplored. So like I said, we've been exploring in Mongolia for 25 years now. This white box here in the bottom is the Hundi Minerals District. As I said, it's 80 square kilometers. You've got in these black boxes, these are our assets, the Bayan Hundi gold deposit where we're building the starter mine, the Zonmad molybdenum copper deposit, and the Altan gold, silver, lead, zinc deposit. So, as I said, we're listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Our largest shareholder is Eric Sprott, who's now at 23%. We're also cross-listed on the Mongolian Stock Exchange. We have about 7,000 Mongolian shareholders. We have a 50-50 JV with the Mongolian Mining Corporation through Erdene Mongol, and that's where the projects in this white box are, except for Zonmad, is not within that alliance. We have a 5% NSR on everything within the district after we produce and sell 400,000 ounces of gold. This was taken a few weeks ago. This is the mine. Like I said, we built it. We built it pretty much on cost. We had budgeted $100 million. We spent $115 million. We did it in 22 months. So, as I said, there's 500,000. The high-grade reserves are about 500,000 ounces, grading 4 grams per ton. We think that there's much more than that. There's probably 1 million ounces, and then plus with Altan Nar to the north, there's another 500,000. So right now, we think there's about 1.5 to 2 million ounces in the district. But what we really believe, which is why the third D is district, that the future of our company is proving tier 1 assets in southwestern Mongolia on a multi-million ounce basis. So this is our near-term mine plan. This is 6-year mine life right now, and that's based on our 2023 feasibility study. I think this will definitely be more than 8, probably more than 10 years. You'll see we're producing on an average 85,000 ounces a year, and we expect to be up to nameplate capacity production by the end of this calendar year. So this is a pretty compelling slide. And now we did our feasibility study. Originally, we did it on $1,800 gold, but if you look at gold prices today, if you look in the top right there, with the current gold price where it is, that's a 78% IRR. Our all-in sustaining cost is probably a little up now, given the price of gold and the increase in taxes and royalties, around $1,200. But as I said, the capex on this mine was $115, and we're going to produce around 87,000 ounces a year. So this is where it's a very clean design. It's a very compact. You'll see where the open pit is here to the left. The open pit will only go down about 150 meters. But we do know that there's a lot more ounces that aren't in the feasibility study, at least 300,000 to the west of the current pit shell, which gives us that confidence that this will be a mine that will go further than what our feasibility study says it will. These are some recent photographs of the mill. It's a straightforward carbon in pulp process. This is the camp. It's 7 kilometers north. So this is the bigger picture. This is the district play that we have effectively discovered and built. We've put all of our focus in the past 3 years on getting Bayan Khundii to production and to cash flow. I mentioned Altan Nar earlier. That's got 500,000 ounces at 2 grams. It's got multiple targets, more than 20. And the focus so far has just been on 3 years of drilling on a gold and polymetallic target, but there's also a nice copper target there. Olan is to the west of Bayan Khundii, which has high-grade gold near surface and an underlying porphyry signature. And then the Zonmad molybdenum copper deposit, which is outside of the strategic alliance with MMC, is something we've had for more than 15 years. In the next month or so, we plan to put out an updated 43-101 resource, and there's a lot of potential there. It's, as I said, the largest undeveloped moly copper project in Asia, and we do think that there's real opportunity for value creation through that. I'm going to go quick through some of these slides. This is the slide that shows where additional ounces beyond what's in the BFS we know are there, so the pit will definitely expand. Just 1.5 kilometers north of Bayan Khundii, the deposit is a ultra-high-grade deposit called Dark Horse. Again, there's a lot of opportunity to add ounces here with additional drilling, which we will fund with cash flows from the mine. I'm going to be buzzing through some of these. This is the moly copper deposit I talked about earlier. It is a giant porphyry signature. So recently we optioned a project in southeast Mongolia. So you can see we are focused in our Khundii Minerals District in southwest Mongolia. But near Oyu-Tolgoi, about 10 kilometers southwest on trend, is a project that we recently optioned called Terekol. We haven't done much work. We've done some sampling. We have surface samples currently at the lab. We plan to do some geophysics. and probably in Q1 next year, we'll be doing some drilling. We have a very strong social license across the country, and particularly in the Hundi Minerals District in southwest Mongolia. And our partnership with Mongolian Mining Corporation helps strengthen our ability to not only deliver shareholder value, but also shared value for our stakeholders. This is where we sit right now. I talked earlier about the shareholder returns over the past 5 years and the past 1 year. We recently consolidated the shares on a 6-to-1 basis, so we have about 66 million shares outstanding. You can see our cap table over there, where we have Eric Sprott at 23%, and very closely held institutions and family offices at another 38%, so it's a pretty tightly held stock. This is the last slide, and then we'll go to questions. This is really the Lassonde curve, and you can see where we are in 2025. We do believe that there's real opportunity for a re-rate to our company. There's so much potential once we do get into cash flow to expand the current operation and to set up additional operations in the district and to create value from our 2 projects outside of the district, Zone Mod and Terregol. So I'll stop there and take questions.
Any questions in the audience? No? Okay, so maybe can you talk to, I'm not sure how's mining going over in Mongolia, obviously, you know, familiar enough, but how's the community, how's your reception there as far as people in the area go?
So where we are in the Hundi Minerals District, it's about 80 kilometers to the nearest community or settlement where there's about 1,200 people. One thing that we've made a priority of is to train local community members in the skills needed to operate this mine. So a lot of the community members are going to be working for the mine. The relationships are very strong.
Excellent. And any upcoming milestones we should all be looking for over the next 6 months?
Again, the reason Peter Akerley is not here is because we're about to pour first gold, and that is, to me, the most significant milestone. Reaching nameplate capacity production, which is 85,000 ounces a year, is the next big milestone. We will be putting out an updated 43-101 resource on our Zone Mod molybdenum copper project. That's another milestone. And frankly, doing that ore control grade drilling and expansion drilling to grow the ounces so that we can extend the mine life is going to be a high priority for 2026.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you've all got stamina.